Alex Hormozi runs a portfolio of companies doing over $200 million a year, and the lead principle he repeats more than any other isn't let's get more leads, it's follow up faster and never let a lead go cold. Now, I've built my own marketing company to over $200,000 a month, and I can tell you the one thing nobody sending texts at scale wants to hear, and that's do your messages actually land on your prospect's phone? So here's Hormozi's lead and follow up playbook rebuilt for someone sending mass volume every single day. Let's get right into it. So principle number one is speed to lead. Now, Hormozi points to a business owner who gets to every single lead within 60 seconds and closes 55% of them, whereas most companies will take days to follow up with a lead. Now, when you scale that up and you've got tens of thousands of lead coming in off of your initial text, fast isn't a person dialing, it's your entire sending infrastructure. The real question is whether your platform fires a reply on the first touch the instant a lead replies across your entire inflow all at once, or whether it quietly drips those texts over the next 6 to 12 hours while those leads go cold. And if you know anything about sending bulk SMS in regards to A2P, your volume is always capped at the campaign and brand level. So at volume, speed is literally a throughput problem. The bottleneck just moves from your staff to your sending infrastructure. So let me show you how this works at scale. I use a platform called Sendivo. Now, as you can see inside the dashboard over the last 3 days, we've sent about 2.6 million. We're usually about at a million per day on this particular account. But as you can see, every metric is broken down from delivery rate to opt-out rate to response rate, the total campaigns we have live. It's broken down on a per day and per week basis. We can see the top failure reasons over here. We can see our outbound versus inbound messages going out and incoming. We can see our delivery rate. Every little metric is broken down on a campaign, delivery, opt-out rate, and response rate, which in the SMS world matters a lot. And let me show you how this works in regards to speed to lead. So if I go to SMS blast over here, you can see all of the campaigns I have currently running. So on these particular campaigns, I've blasted out 23,000, 23,000, 245,000. A lot of these campaigns, we just blasted out all at once, hitting our entire list all at once. So as you can see, when we go over to conversations, you'll see an inflow of conversations coming into here all at once. And the most important thing is that these messages are actually landing and that we are replying, like you can see here, within a timely manner to these prospects. And keep this in mind because this is the one thing that's going to remain true throughout this entire video, which is speed literally only counts if your messages are actually landing on your prospect's phone. So principle number two is the money is in the follow-up. So Hormozi is blunt. Most people quit way too early, 5, 6, 7 touches before they even stop. But let's be honest, you're not following up with a million leads by hand. So the leverage at scale is quite literally automation. Every contact gets a full 5 to 7 touches. And the key is to get an AI that handles the entire back end and the back and forth with your prospects. And the moment someone replies, the sequence stops and that lead gets logged into your CRM all automatically. So you can actually do this right on Sendivo. If you go to artificial intelligence over here, you select a sub account that you want to run it from, switch to sub account, and under here you can see everything from enabling the bot to you can even test your own bot. You can set the parameters as to how fast it replies to people, how many conversations and how many message threads it will go back and forth with them. You can set the entire personality, the tone, what the objective is. And the goal is to have these leads handled within 30 to 60 seconds so that when they reply, the AI bot follows up with them and it logs them in our CRM as a lead, right? And then it also adds tags so that you can go back and create what's called like reactivation lists. So if I go back to conversations, you can see within here how fast the leads are being responded to. So obviously a lot of this information will be blurred out just to keep things private. But again, you can see that all of these leads are being handled in a timely manner. And again, I can't iterate this enough, but all of this only matters if every one of your texts actually reaches your phone. And you need an actual platform that can actually handle and sustain this volume at scale and deliver the text to the end user. So principle number 3 is reactivate the list you already have. Now, Hormozi's line is there's actual gold in your phone, which is the people who already know you. And most operators ignore this entirely, chasing new data. And when you're sending mass volume, this is the single cheapest send you'll ever make because you're already paying per message, you're already paying per new record, but a reactivation campaign to a dormant list of people who already opted in costs almost nothing. And on top of that, it converts way better than any cold traffic ever will. So one re-engagement send to your entire list can literally outperform a month of buying fresh new numbers. So let me show you how fast you guys can do this on Sendivo. So if we come over to Sendivo, we click on lists, and from here, what we can do is we can create a new list. And you have two options. You can obviously upload a CSV file or create one from existing contacts. So that's a separate video. We can go into contacts and create them manually. But under list, what I'm going to do is just upload a CSV file. I'll name it reactivation list, right? Click next, upload CSV. And what you would do here is you would just drag and drop your CSV file into here. And then from there, you would just do the same thing. You go to SMS blast. And once you're in SMS blast, you would click add a new blast. And once you're in blast, you can name the blast whatever you like. I'll call it reactivation campaign just to keep it congruent with my list. Campaign, I will select a campaign because I'm just going to choose single campaign for now. I will click a phone number that I have purchased. And then the contact list, I will just choose the contact list I just created called reactivation list, and then click next. And you have a few options here when you're inside SMS blast. So you can obviously just send all your messages at once. That's what a lot of guys do. If they have the infrastructure properly built out, they're able to send millions of texts all at once. Or you can rate the sending limit. So you can send every 5 minutes, every 20 minutes. You can send a certain amount of messages. So let's call it you want to send 10,000 per day and you want to drip that out over an 8-hour period. You just reverse engineer the numbers and our system will deliver that out for you. You can also schedule a campaign. So instead of blasting right off the rip, you can also just schedule. So if I want to launch this at, call it 9 a.m. tomorrow, you would just choose that. And then you're also able to set a delivery window. Once those parameters are selected, you just click next. And when you click next, you'll land on this page where you can actually create your message template. So of course you can already select a pre-selected message template that you've already created, or you can just manually type out the blast that you, or the message that you want to send out within this blast. And on top of that, you can also add in custom fields, right? So first name, last name, if you actually put all this information and you have all that data from your prospects, obviously first name, last name, email, phone number, company, etc., address, you can actually state all of that in the message. So, you're not manually doing that one by one. On top of that, you can also add a label when a contact replies. So let's say a contact replies positively, you can add a positive reply label. This is more or less just here for organization purposes. That way, again, you can create these reactivations lists later down the line. And same thing goes here, right? You can add them to a list. That way you can continuously reactivating your previous list of positive replies. Once that's done, you would actually just create a blast right here. And depending on what you set during your scheduling time, all of these messages would either go out at once or drip out over a scheduled time period like you set in the settings. So if you're pushing serious volume, the setup for this infrastructure and the pricing are quite a bit different. And if you want to be able to send millions of texts per day, as well as custom SMS pricing 90% cheaper than any text platform on the market, then there's a link below in the description and the comments to book a call so you can get a custom SMS quote, as well as this entire infrastructure capable of sending millions of texts per day, built entirely done for you. So principle number 4 is lead with value, not buy now. So this is the one thing that decides whether you still have a business within 6 months, is you lead with value, not buy now. And what I mean by that is Hormozi's rule is you give value first. So you give people something genuinely useful so they actually want to hear from you. And at small scale, that's a nice to have. It's not really necessary, but at 1 million texts per day or more, it's literally survival. And the reason why is because the carriers score you like a credit score. So they watch your complaint rates, your opt-out rates in real time. If you blast a message that says buy now to 1 million people all at once who half remember you from 6 to 12 months ago, opt-out rates and spam reports spike through the roof. And the carriers read that as nobody wants this. And what they'll start to do is start to filter you. So you paid for 1 million texts, but you only reached a fraction of that. And this is where Sendivo's dashboard comes into play. Like, as you can see here, we sent over 1 million messages on this particular account, 96.7 delivery rate. Opt-out rate is crucial. Like, I like to be around under 5%. Anything like over 5-6%, you start raising flags with the carriers. Response rate generally in this space, anywhere between 3 to 10% is pretty common. And then you can see how many campaigns we have live on this particular account. And if I navigate to all sub accounts down here, you can see that we have much bigger metrics, obviously, because this is taking into account all the accounts that we have. But 89.4% at 2.6 million, about 1 million a day, like I said, 2.74% opt-out rate, and then a 2.82% response rate over 132 campaigns. And then everything broken down on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, how many messages are actually getting delivered, how many are failing, what is the failure reason, right? Data is a big issue in this space as well. Obviously, you want to clean your data, make sure that you have good data, accurate phone numbers, etc. And then everything on a per campaign and per sub account basis broken down for you so that you know every single text message you're sending is actually landing on your prospect's phone. So obviously, I recommend you send something people actually want, a real answer, a genuine offer, something useful, and your complaints stay low, your reputation stays high, and your volume keeps landing. And again, at mass volume, the number one thing that's going to hold you back is literally the platform you're sending on. So like I said, if you want an SMS platform capable of sending millions of texts per day, there's a link below to sign up for Sendivo. And if you're a mass volume sender, call it anything over 500,000 messages a month, use that same link to book a call, and we'll get you a custom quote at our absolute lowest cost per text rate compared to platforms like Twilio. So book your call, get your custom pricing, and let's get your volume landing. I'll see you on the next one.